when you mention how Hollywood put men in dresses, you know, because I'm only repeating what Dave Chappelle and other comedians have said. That said, look, man, it's a real thing that they want us to put us in dresses because it sends the images out to our people, and it's a detriment to us. Now, I hate when we bring that up, and then someone say, well, black men are not the only ones doing it. It's almost like if I say we have an issue in our community with black men going to prison, and then someone say, well, it's white people in prison too. That don't mean it's not an issue for us, and it don't mean that they're not really kind of targeting us for that. Just because you can point to a example of a minority that's in that situation. So when it comes to Hollywood and black men in dresses, it is an issue, and they do push that on them for some odd reason. And for some odd reason, it's just before they ascend into a higher plateau. It just is what it is. And if
I disagree.
But if people,
I do agree. So that was the point I was trying to make, though, Mel, is that like all men are in these dresses, right? But it's a totally different implication when it's black men doing it. Right. And I do think that there's gender implications there too, because especially today, why do you think it's even worse for, you know, Larry Johnson to see him in that dress? Because there's an influx of men demanding to be women. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? It's almost no longer funny now because
he helped usher that in, Dominique. That's probably what he's feeling. He's probably feeling like, I did that.
Bro,
I don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree.
Racing to everything, bro.
And the reason I don't agree with it is because you can't.
I'm with it. Go ahead.
You can only maybe name 2 or 3 athletes that have done it. That was supposed to be something funny. Hollywood, that's a totally different story.
Yeah. All right, so let's get Larry Johnson. He did it. First of all, if y'all haven't watched Larry Johnson's interview on All the Smoke,
he's hilarious.
Bro, you think Charles Barkley got personality? This might be, I mean, he's a mix of Kwame Brown, Charles Barkley.
He about to get his own stuff. Watch.
He's got to. I did not know this dude personality was like that, bro.
And I didn't know if you had seen it before I sent it to you, but dude, he's a good media personality, whether he want to be or not.
Hire him now if he can get off that yak, because he sounded like he was on something, you know. But anyway,
hopefully it's not Hennessy.
Yeah. He said some interesting things, man. So we all remember the Grandmama commercials and all of that stuff, man. You know, and then we all remember Dave Chappelle talking about it's something about black men and them wanting to put us in those dresses. And then you start thinking about stuff. And I'm like, how did they get Larry Johnson in that dress? Like, how did Larry Johnson, 6'6", 235 pound, 2% body fat, mean gold tooth, part in the middle of the hair? How did this dude agree to put on a freaking dress and act like a grandma? I have no clue. Well, he told the story. It's 2 things I want y'all to get out of this. One is the first part, that the commercial they pitched him on.
That would have been so dope.
And then what actually ended up happening. This is him.
Worry about so we hit the plant. We get in this plant, Converse plant. It's about 200, 300 workers. They all doing it, they're giving it to me, giving it to stroking me like a motherfucker. Larry. And we went into and I signed that day. Oh, that is. Hey, is that what you talking about, man? Yeah. Is that bullshit you talking about? That's you. That's you. God damn, man. 200 people. What they doing? They doing 200-300 people. God damn it. Signed that day. Yeah. We're writing it off. We're gonna get you, man. We're gonna put you in the commercial. Told you I'm gonna tie it in there. They say, this is what they say to me now, audience. They say, we're gonna damn, I can't think his name. He's gonna come to me. This Converse rep that's pitching this to me. He said, and they had 2 young boys doing their advertising. They like 22, 23 white boys, hair down to here. They was doing like the air guitar. I said, oh shit, I'm in trouble. They was doing air guitar now while we were signing this shit. And they say they over our marketing. They gonna put you in a commercial. I said, okay, what's the commercial? They said the first commercial is, we're gonna put you on a gurney. We're gonna cover you up, and nobody can see you. And then, yeah. They said it's gonna be 2 doctors. One gonna be Magic Johnson, and the other doctor gonna be Larry Bird. And at the time, if you can't remember, they both was in Converse. Mm-hmm. They one Dr. Larry Bird, one Dr. Magic Johnson, and they going scalpel, this, that. and they saying, we finished. And they say the perfect basketball player. And then one of them say, well, we got to name him. And Larry say, well, his name got to be Larry. Then Magic say, no, Johnson, Larry Johnson, Larry Johnson. And
That's
I raise
hard.
up.
That shit was hard,
And I
right?
raise up.
That's a big miss.
And the commercial goes, Larry Johnson, Larry
That's
Johnson,
hard.
Larry Johnson.
That's
And I
hard.
raise up, and that's the end of the commercial, right?
Ooh, that would have been cold. Sign me up, goddammit.
All right, what y'all think about the pitch?
Money. That's money.
That would have been cold.
They
That was perfect. They missed it on
It's
that
the
one.
opportunity.
You missed the mark on that one.
Yeah. But the reason why is even wilder.
Okay, this what actually happened.
That's crazy.
They gave me $1 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
Month later, I bought my mom house with $1 million, so the $1 million gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Dorothy Johnson.
Off the
Shout out
rip.
to Dorothy
Off the
Johnson.
rip. Mama.
Month later, we out. Come on now. We out of there. Let's get some. Here's the $1 million. A month later, we do that. So season starts. They come to me. You ready for the commercial? Yeah, I'm ready, man. The fellas ready. And another something to that story is one of them didn't want to do it. When I got to the set to do the commercial, now they ain't telling me nothing. I got to the set to do the commercial and I walked into my trade big time program, you know, like in the
LA?
movies. Everybody got a
Hollywood?
yes, everybody got a trailer. Oh, this is my trailer. And I see a dress, a wig. I see all this in the corner. I said, where's my wardrobe at? Because I ain't bring nothing. They say, you ain't got to bring nothing. And that's all I see hanging up. 2 or 3 dresses, some wigs. I said, come on, man. And they came, they said, Larry, they pitched this one to me. Now I done signed $1 million and done
Money gone. Money gone.
I said, what happened to the commercial with me and Magic and Larry? He said, one of them didn't want to do it.
One of them didn't want to do it. Wrong.
No. I never knew which one didn't want to do it. I never knew which one of them didn't want to do it. Larry loved me. Yeah, Larry loved me. I never knew which one didn't want to do it. Larry loved me. No, y'all getting what I'm saying, right? No, I mean facts. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Nigga, I'd have been got it.
Larry fuck with me. No, okay, wait a minute. Larry fuck with me.
Before you start in the
All right, they pitched them a great idea. Supposedly, either Larry or Magic pulled out. He's hinting to Magic pulled out.
Pause.
Which is something he probably never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Magic pulled out, right? And then they come back without telling him. He show up to the set and they throw him in the dress, but he already done spent the money that they gave him. So it ain't like he can back out and say no. I mean, I guess you kind of can, but what y'all think about the when you think about that, and then in light with what Dave Chappelle said about this weird fetish with Hollywood producers wanting to put men in dresses, specifically black men in dresses for whatever reason. What's y'all thoughts on that? And how did that make y'all look at Grandmama now?
I don't think that had to do nothing to do with it. I think they scrambled for an idea at the last minute because somebody backed out, and that's like the best shit that they had.
My thing is this: if you paid Larry already, you didn't pay the other two as well.
Facts.
Oh, they
So
got
if one came back out, how can the other one? Just because they got the bigger name at the time? No, I mean, I feel like there should have been a court proceeding or something, or you make Magic do the commercial. You already were tied by money in a contract. So,
Magic got the money to give back though.
It was the best thing that happened to Larry Johnson.
I think it still would have been dope though. I mean, Grandmama wasn't that dope to me. Grandmama wasn't that dope.
The commercial was okay. The commercial was all that. And I'll tell you why Grandmama was that dope. All right, remember he played for the Hornets. I'm in Food Line. They giving us out posters. And remember, I actually had it on my wall for a long time. It was like a life-size joint, how you can check your height. I mean, 6'6", but they had him with a in the Charlotte Hornets joint. People like he became the face of the thing. I remember seeing Grandmama hooping people up on Family Matters. Him and Urkel just dropping cats off. Like it gave him crossover appeal where
it did.
They weren't gonna take that country bumpkin and put him on TV outside of basketball.
So you make a good point, Jay. And the crazy thing about it, you said you had this post of Grandmama. I think you remember when we used to get our books, our textbooks in elementary, and they give us like that paper that you can wrap your cover with.
Your book in, yep.
I think they had a grandma because we from North Carolina, so they had a Grandmama joint cover for that too.
For free. Yep, absolutely.
In that interview later on, he said he made a mistake and turned down an episode of Martin. He was supposed to go on there with Martin's mom, Grandmama and Martin's mom was supposed to play against each other. So he turned that down though. But he said he got tired. He was tired of doing Grandmama at that point. But my point is this: you're right that he got a whole lot of reach with the Grandmama thing. And I think after that Larry Johnson commercial, which it was really good, I think it would have died after that. Like, where do you go from there? After the perfect player has been born, now what? So you're right.
His career go die in Charlotte and then to go to New York. The hell? That's where you go from there. That's where it went.
I just think it's just sneaky for them to daggone throw that. I mean, they could have came up with something better than that dress.
And not only that, I honestly believe that they never ran it by Larry or Magic. I can tell you whatever I want to in the meeting. You signed the contract and spent the money.
And throw your
put this dress on.
Yeah, but if they can tell him to put the dress on because you on the contract, why they can't tell Magic to do the commercial like Chris?
Because they already signed their deal. That wasn't part of their deal. They was already in conversations. This how you say if right now you had a chance to sell to Nike and then they was like, well, we already got Michael Jordan and LeBron and Nike's, man, we can have them come on the Man Down on next Friday. You like, hell yeah, you signed that contract, man. I ain't talked to neither one of them. We ain't doing that fucking show. You know what I'm saying? Especially not together.
You guys remember the obsession though in the 90s with especially black men, dressing up as women. Martin was doing it. It was happening in Family Matters. Like it was happening across Hollywood. And I think the reason it was Magic Johnson. I think even the Wayans brothers, they had been doing it for years, Low Down Dirty Shame, Mo Money, Jamie Foxx. Yeah. It's been happening for so long, but I think it was Magic that pulled out. I think that it was because he never liked his Converse deal and the money that he was making with them. He's always like historically complained about it. Nike didn't buy Converse until 2003. So I think it was Magic that pulled out of that commercial.
I think Magic pulled out too. And I think he pulled out because he didn't think Larry Johnson was gonna be I don't think he thought he was gonna be that good.
But tie his name to him.
Definitely going to be the greatest basketball player.
I think also, but when you think about it, though, we're talking about Larry Johnson being in a dress. Who knows, like what the real circumstances of it was, and just like what Magic Johnson had just been going through, and the rumors surrounding him and his illness. I think there were probably a variety of reasons why he pulled out of that.
He wasn't going to keep saying pull out. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well,
Taco Master said he never pulls out, but I don't know if pulling out was his problem though.
Going in was his problem.
Pulling up was his problem.
Yeah, the selection.
Yeah. Seems like there was not a party that he was willing to turn down.
He didn't sign no NDA either.
They said Magic was on all sorts of white.
You know what though? Hey man, I thought that was some of the funniest stuff ever, man.
The Grandmama.
I like comedy, man, and personally, bro, them dress series was pretty funny. I remember Jamie Foxx when he was it
Wanda?
Oh man, come on,
the clip with Jim Carrey and what's his name? Richard Allen
Greer. That shit. David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
David Allen Greer. That shit was comedy, bro.
All of it was funny, but now that we know about the ritual in Hollywood, it ain't funny no more.
Yeah.
What ritual?
Hey, listen, somebody had to teach Diddy how to be a monster.
Correct.
Oh, stop. Come on now. There y'all go with the conspiracy theories.
No, not a conspiracy theory.
That's good comedy, man.
Listen, man. No, it ain't even about the comedy. I'm just saying that if you aspire to be an NBA athlete, and on your way up to success, you learn what NBA athletes do off the court, and now that becomes part of your rhetoric. If what they're doing is something that people shouldn't be doing, and you get caught doing it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to go down, you're going to fall, but you probably sitting there like, yo, these dudes have been doing this for years. I was never into this before they indoctrinated me into that. Whatever that thing might be. It could be steroid, anything from steroids to little boys, I guess. I don't know.
Sheesh.
I have a theory about the black men in dresses, but I don't know if I can word it properly to kind of iterate that on this platform. But
I think if it's done in good taste, man, and it's good comedy, I'm with it. But personally, I would never get in a dress, especially if I was 21, 22 years old.
And why wouldn't you get in a dress? Why wouldn't you get in one?
I wouldn't entertain nothing like that, because
but why
21, 22, I was a totally different person, and that definitely wasn't part of my swag.
That's what I'm saying. But why wouldn't you get in a dress though?
I'm just not that type of cat. I'm
so
not,
how's it funny?
And to be honest with you, Mel, I wasn't nothing to laugh at. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I believe you, but the fact that you think like that is the same reason why it ain't funny, and we got to understand why they keep wanting to do it. It's not really funny.
Honestly, to be honest with you, it's on you to do it. You know what I mean?
In all fairness, guys, did anybody see Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah, didn't like it. I don't like men in dress.
It's not just
what nobody say on what you call it. Hated it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I mean, it wasn't my type of comedy, but I get it. I get it.
I get you, Dominique, but I think it's more so what you see. You see more black men in Hollywood do it than white men.
Nah, you've seen all of them in dresses.
I don't think it's
all of them.
Athletes.
That's all I'm saying. In comedy, that's a very popular thing. It's not just black men. I think that there's a different connotation when it is black men. So how we view it's definitely different. I'm just saying it's not only black men in these dresses.
If you look throughout history,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Britne. Go ahead.
If we look throughout history, there was a one point in time way back in the day when they would do plays. Women weren't even allowed to be in plays. So men would have to put on dresses and wigs to play those parts. I'm not saying, like, I don't know the situation with black men in Hollywood. I'm not a part of Hollywood, but I do see how they do like to portray us. And I'm not saying it's right, but I don't know if this is only a black man issue, I guess I can say. But also, then the question that we have to ask is, and he's not here anymore, why did Flip Wilson? Because I think he was one of the first ones to do it. Flip Wilson did it, who's a comedian, and then you hear Jamie Foxx and Martin Lawrence, they looked up to Flip Wilson, and then they kind of follow suit. So
and that's a problem.
I find it as comedy, but I mean, I personally, at my age, I wouldn't have done it. But then I wasn't in the comedy realm like that, so I don't know.
Right.
And Larry Johnson wasn't in the comedy realm. He was a basketball player. But look, this is what I would say, and he's still ashamed of it to his day. Like when they put the picture on screen, he didn't even want them to put it up there. Man, take that junk down. Take it down. Oh, come on. He don't even like it. And he said he didn't even want to do it then, but he had already spent the money. He didn't know what his rights was, right? So he just did it. He's not proud of it. This is my thing though. When people when you mention how Hollywood put men in dresses, because I'm only repeating what Dave Chappelle and other comedians have said. That said, look, man, it's a real thing that they want us to put us in dresses because it sends the images out to our people and it's a detriment to us. Now I hate when we bring that up and then someone say, well, black men are not the only ones doing it. It's almost like if I say we have an issue in our community with black men going to prison, and someone say, well, it's white people in prison too. That don't mean it's not an issue for us, and it don't mean that they're not really kind of targeting us for that. Just because you can point to a example of a minority that's in that situation. So when it comes to Hollywood and black men in dresses, it is an issue, and they do push that on them for some odd reason, and for some odd reason, it's just before they ascend into a higher plateau. It just is what it is. And if
I disagree.
But if people
I do agree. So that was the point I was trying to make though, Mel, is that like all men are in these dresses, right? But it's a totally different implication when it's black men doing it. Right. And I do think that there's gender implications there too, because especially today, why do you think it's even worse for Larry Johnson to see him in that dress? Because there's an influx of men demanding to be women. So you know what I'm saying? It's almost no longer funny now because
he helped usher that in, Dominique. That's probably what he's feeling. He's probably feeling like I did that,
bro.
I
did
that.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Race into everything, bro.
And the reason I don't agree with it is because you can't.
I'm with it. Go ahead.
You can only maybe name 2 or 3 athletes that have done it. That was supposed to be something funny. Hollywood, that's a totally different story.
It's the same producers though, Corey.
Larry
Johnson.
It's
the same producers that produce commercials.
Nothing to do with Hollywood though. He don't have nothing to do with it.
It's the same producers, Corey.
I understand what you're saying, but that don't have nothing to do with it. These dudes in Hollywood, that's a totally different story.
Yeah, but it's the Hollywood producers are the ones who are producing the commercials.
But the reason that Larry Johnson probably don't want nothing to do with it no more because now he knows what it entails. Athletes, that didn't have nothing to do with it.
We're conditioned at this point to find these things funny. So I get it. Like Eric, you know, it's funny. Like I've laughed like Big Mama's House, not just Jamie Foxx, but who else? Eddie Murphy for years has been doing this. So, you know, it's not, we're conditioned at this point to find it funny and things like that. But there's definitely, there's a demasculating, you know, of the black man specifically when we put him in a dress. And that's, I think, the imagery that a lot of these producers want to perpetuate. And I'm not saying that
it happens over time, Dominique. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like now we cool with Wanda. And then it goes from there and there. And then next thing you know, then next thing you know, Chris is a regular watcher of whatever that show was when Uncle Clifford was getting bust down. Yeah, and he's just perfectly fine with it.
Even Jim Carrey was doing it. Like, look, Eric, you're saying that you think it's funny, but yet you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it at 20, and you wouldn't do it now. So there, you know, all I'm saying is and the reason is because, and I think you're not saying it, there's a subconscious bias, right? There's an implication when black men are in dresses.
I get it. I would understand what y'all saying. I just think we take the whole race thing and we apply it to everything. Like, oh my God, they hate on the black man. They trying to get us in dresses. Oh my God, the black man is so oppressed. Man, you oppress yourself. You can say yes or no.
We didn't say oppressed, but
you can say yes or no.
Race do apply to everything.
Comfortable wearing that dress, whether he spent $1 million or not. He'd be like, "Hey, homie, I'm not wearing that dress. Y'all need to come up with another flick, another joke, another."
Look, I get that you don't feel personally oppressed, like maybe in your own household and things like that. But sometimes what we're experiencing as an individual does not represent the larger picture, and so black people, in my opinion, are still the very most oppressed.
I get. I'm totally with you, and we definitely agree on that. I just think that we can't keep using oppression as a crutch. That's just me.
I don't think, but we're not. I think, and me and you had this conversation a lot when we get on these topics, and like the other end of the spectrum of people who use it as an excuse is what you're thinking about. And then when someone says anything about race, you automatically link it to the far end of the spectrum of the people who make it as an excuse. I don't think nobody on this panel, including yourself, will ever use anything as an excuse. We go getters. Like we all go getters.
Exactly.
So yeah, so you I mean, we
neither one of us is missing any meals, man.
Well, I miss one a day. I definitely miss one a day.
You know what I mean? We both got nice cars. We both live in nice houses. We both live in California. Come on, bro. Like we made it happen. We changed our own circumstances. We both joined the Navy. We did our time. We did everything we were supposed to do. So I don't believe in that black shit being a crutch, man. And I think people jump onto that shit, and you just don't want to hold yourself accountable for the shit you do. If you don't want to wear a dress, if you don't like how that shit feel, if you think you look fucked up in that situation, you can always say no. Hey man, I already spent $1 million, so we're gonna have to figure out something else to do with this commercial.
That's what he should have did. But he was a rookie though, Eric. You know what I mean?
So I'm just saying, if it was me,
imagine who hold on, who 21 in your house?
Trey.
Okay, imagine him if he didn't have his dad to call and get advice from at that moment. Imagine him, they done gave him $1 million. He done bought your wife a house. He ain't got the $1 million. He show up and they're like, yeah, put this dress on. You got to.
I'll be like,
he probably like, man.
I'm like, you ain't put my motherfucking son in no dress. You ain't attaching my last name to it. Got me fucked up. Let me speak to your manager.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and move to the next topic. I was gonna open the phone
I just
lines.
want to say, like, I'm okay if black men want to wear a dress. Okay, I'm okay with it.
I'm not okay.
If that was your boyfriend, you wouldn't be cool with it.
That's right.
Ultimately, it's your choice. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. Like ultimately, like
it's your choice on what you want to do. If that's what makes you happy, then that's what makes you happy.
Hey, if your boyfriend showed up right now, Britne, and he said, "Hey, I just want to wear a dress," you ain't gonna be with it.
Nothing about my boyfriend. I'm talking about.
I'm just saying.
General public. If
would you rather want your man in a dress or this outfit
hey,
right
Britne,
here?
this is who I really
am. A blue
like,
Robbins vest, a leather jacket, and a flowered sweater with vanilla ice cream trimming on the bottom.
Oh my God.
And some mom jeans.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with it.
You ain't messing with it. All right, bet.
Yeah, but leave Precious alone.
All body types matter.
No, of course, yeah.
That was a good topic. Appreciate the comments, all the engagement on that topic, man. But we're gonna keep it pushing though.
So you missed a
good
one.
I see your power strip went out too.
Nah, man, I live in the sticks.